Today is a Thursday. I just wanted to be clear about the fact that I'm shooting on a Thursday. And because it's a Thursday, I feel like I haven't thrown back in a minute. So today, I wanted to throw back to all the millennials. If you know you're a millennial, you remember this story. Once upon a time, in the 2000s, I think it was after the whole Chibwetere saga, which also shooketh us as a people. Roger Mugisha. I don't know you people, you take this thing very lightly, but do you remember that Roger Mugisha had the most trending topic of all time? This one cut across every homestead. This guy came and told us he sits and dines with the devil. Guy yeja natubulira story natugamba nga bwatula ku majigali ameka asatu ana. Ngamutwala jagenda. You know, the infamous Roger Mugisha and the Shadows Angels. Y'all had to be there. He went on stage. I think that was the first original 77 Dogs because it has the Kayanja vibe to it. And I think that's also the time when Balokole were just getting their, their footing. So he came on stage and he was supposed to give a testimony. And then the testimony went something like, this is what I do. And the nigga, I think that was the introduction to Illuminati. As Africans, but I took a minute and I'm like, even to be a Roger Mugisha, we either have to give that man an award or we incarcerate him, because that guy did his thing. I believe that shit. Every Ugandan believed that nonsense. The world walked everybody by Itanga spicy. If you're from that era, you know what I'm talking about. The very first books that introduced us to the hyena. And his writing. What do you know? Original hyena was in it. I don't know if it was a pamphlet or it was a weekly magazine. And I think that is what gave birth to Red Pepper or some shit. That was the time. So we used to look forward to reading Roger Mugisha's entire testimony in it. They had they had made for him a situationship. And he went on different radio stations. He went on different interviews all over, just telling us, guy, I've been dining with the devil. Anyway, so yes, like I was saying, I'm throwing back to that time, that era, man. Roger had us in a chokehold. And to think that it is 2022 now, and we can't honestly go back and revisit these conversations is hilarious to me. Like, nobody questioned this man. He told us, sold us the whole story. We were all excited. We were all terrified. Hey! Jose Chameleon, never know. Chameleon. Zengambol nakulumu. Weve mu or addressing because Roger said you go down with him to the devil. When you broke your legs, they said you were he told us you were sleepwalking. Well, his story was he was sleepwalking, but then other people told us it was a situation with the Sangoma. I'm like, wait, what? You need to come out and clarify. So yeah, I wanted to throw back to that time. Other than that, let's get it. My name is Tina Fierce One, and welcome to these my random thoughts. I don't know how random they'll be today. I'm not in the mood, but welcome. Last week, I remember before I dropped the episode, there was the lawyer. The funky lawyer, Isaac Semakade, was on national television on a political show with Kamara and what's the other guy's name? Asadu. Oyo. And it trended on Twitter. It trended on Twitter because, well, Isaac went in. Ooh, he asked for a full plate of vengeance and petty on the side. He was violent. He did not come to play. He was ready. Nsedeko was not. That is the honest truth. But anyway, y'all watched that it went viral, so I know all of you watched it. And the conversation is about a particular, I think it's a law already because I think I've seen it somewhere. I don't know. Someone needs to teach me how to differentiate between this shit because for all my magazine, laws, bills, debut, be confusing, and I termed it out. So anyway, it's a lot, to break it down to you, it's a law that's supposed to govern how we use social media. Let me just put it in layman's terms. How we use it. And Nsedeko was coming with the fact that he wants it to be put in place because there are particular people that need, to be protected. He was like the minors, if we have that law in place, it will protect minors and their faces going on particular TV shows or whatever. He talked about the bullying online. He talked about the insultings online. He tried to encompass it, and Isaac, on the other hand, was opposing everything, and he goes like, nah, fam. The law is already there. You just need to find a way to put it in action, because it's there, but you only use it when it serves the state's purpose. Hey, moving in your mouth. Because it was in that moment that everybody put their clothes out and said, okay, goes by the fact that this is not state sanctioned or anything, but hey, Isaac goes in and tells us it is different. This law only works when the state wants to persecute somebody for doing something wrong. And I think it all stems down from the Kakwenza conversation, because everybody was like, I think Kakwenza had the right to speak on certain things. He had the right to have an opinion because he was on social media. My thing though is, I have a couple of questions as a layman. So when these governments make laws like this, I get it, they're necessary, they're needed. But do they know that even the platforms that we use have their own laws, and those laws have to keep us in line? And then again, it's social media. I just feel like you cannot honestly be telling us when we should be angry, when we should be happy. It reminds me of that scene, if you've watched Shrek, when you walk into the town and when Lord Farquaad is going to talk, there's guys with the cue markers where they tell them to go, ow. They put it up and everybody goes like, ow. Then they put up another one, clap, and everybody goes, clap. I just feel like the world in itself is already too damn demanding of what we should be. You know, the world itself has already set in motion ways to, I think, gag most of us because of what we think and our opinions and thoughts. And we felt like social media is the only place where we can go to. But of course, social media has got way too much power lately. So governments are coming in and they're like, nah, we ain't doing this with y'all. We ain't doing this with y'all. In my country, though, of course, everybody's going to say, I'm going to side with Isaac. I think I side with Isaac because I feel like we do have the right to express our opinions however way we want. But I also do understand that the law is a necessity because, well, they say at times we go overboard. My problem, though, with this whole conversation in my country is not for the sheer fact that we want something in place or it is a necessity. There are bigger issues, but since this is the issue now, my problem with it is that the state only jumps on this shit when the state is not getting what it wants. That's when the state wakes up and it's like, nah, fam, we have to put this in place. We need this. We have to do this. But if the state is not bothered, really, Techimakosa, I mean, we are such a petty country that our president took away Facebook simply because a couple of his big shots who ran accounts for him and for them, when they were given the middle finger by the rest of the world, he's like, if y'all can't, if they can't access it, all Ugandans can't access it. I'm like, okay. So, as the conversation is going on, I know I'm going in a merry-go-round. As the conversation is going on, all these different entities decide to now have the conversation. And you know how Ugandan TV is. One guy will host a space like this, then all the Ugandan TVs will do the same bullshit. But now, they will all be talking about the same thing. It's like they have a script that is sent out to them weekly. Like, it's just a Ugandan TV thing. Good Lord, I'm glad I left. Anywho, following day, in comes a conversation on another local TV station and they bring a guest. The guest they brought was none other than Gashu. Oh, y'all know him. Gashumba himself comes as a guest. Now, he comes as a guest and he is like, yeah, I think they should put it in place as like, Gashumba of all people, to come out and say we need to have laws in place because people are bullying, because people insult. Gashumba, really? I know, before he could even do his 15 minutes of fame on TV for just a statement like that, we all pulled out the receipts. Y'all know the receipts. That ninja has literally made a living off of being a Facebook whore. That's him. That's just him. He just sits on Facebook, calls out people, says I'm angry, I'm mad, and we always want to sit back and ask, so what? Whenever he has an agenda, he's going to take it on Facebook or any one of them. No, at your Twitter. Anyway, he's always on Facebook ranting. He called out the one that everybody was remembering was his harassment of Mr. Maiga, the Katikiro of Buganda. Y'all remember when he did that? Y'all remember when that guy came up and he used to abuse my former boss. Gashumba hated Gabshenga. With a passion. Then you remember the times when he would just come on social just to diss broke people. He would just diss all these broke boys. All him Sanjamwavu. Ononya chino amukazi. I'm like, what yo? So it's so nice for me to see someone decide to go on a table and say, I will pick my poison, it is right here. Because people like Gashumba, honestly, why would you even be having a conversation about such a law? You and your daughter have made your entire living off of being social media bullies. But when someone calls you out on your bullshit, case in point me, you made a hashtag trend. How stupid. Like your level of stupid finds you in a corner and it is like, let's embrace. Anyway, as we say the conversation, so he comes out and he's having that same conversation. I'm like, but Uganda, at some point, we're going to have to make peace with the fact that there ain't no government that just wants to see its people chilled out. And I think this whole social media act / bill or whatever it is has sparked up a bigger conversation, because as soon as we was trying to deal with the Nsereko, Isaac Semakade situation, in jumps in other domino effects. That's when I was like, agenda, what do you want to sponsor? I feel like it was a sponsored agenda. In jumps the usual. Samson Kasumba had something to say. Oh, they did a meme out of him. We didn't even give him 2 glimpses after that. We're like, we're done with you. We're done. Then pops out Norbert Mao. Did you see that Norbert Mao craziness on Twitter? Oh, he was on his Kanye bullshit. He was on Twitter saying it all. He's like, ooh, the opposition this, the opposition that. You see, the problem is, y'all don't want to be told the truth. But the truth is, y'all are mad, y'all are sad, you're a what? He called out opposition. And I'm like, guy, in my country, DP is still considered opposition, but okay. Okay, so he called out the opposition. To be honest, he did have some valid points sprinkled in there, a few here and there. It's just the receipts that he tried to bring in that were not making sense. When he brought in the iPod situation, I was like, guy, I guess in Amanji to be doing such nyokari on Facebook and Twitter, you just can't. So when I saw that Mao conversation, I'm like, okay, it's getting interesting. He ranted, I think, for about 2 days. Nemumowe bibiyenga bulijjo kuba tebannabagiteeka mu nkola era tugenda bavuma mpaka we banaabiteeka mu nkola tukyabavuma. Njagala ekyo tumakinga peace nakyo tukyabavuma. Ate nze kyennayiga ku bannayuganda tekuba kuvuma. The problem with Ugandans is you tell them the honest, brutal truth, they call it obavuma. You all like to live in a bubble. So, using that as an example, Shabavuma, we're going to still be telling you the honest, brutal truth at the end of the day. So Mao is in that conversation. Next thing I know, Andrew Mwenda also drops in there. Next thing I know, there's a couple of people on Twitter, like they're like, oh no, guys are just mad. They're angry. They don't have any time for discourse. Like for them, they're just mad. They just wake up and choose violence. They're insulting. I was like, my country is full of dumb people. Even, I'm not the smartest there is, but let's get this right. It's a multi-party system, right? There's people who are bound to believe in the multi-party system itself. Then there's people who are already in the sitting regime who do not agree with whatever is happening on the opposition side. But I want us to all be clear that it is allowed by our constitution for us to have an opposition in this country. It is very much legal to be opposition. But my thing is, do you expect us to be opposers as we, you know, bagambe mese bweberi kuluma ekulumanga we're blowing up, so you don't feel the sensation. So it bites and goes like, then it bites again. So you never feel it. You just wake up in the morning, you're like, it bit me. That's what you guys want us to do? I don't get it. If I'm opposition, I'm allowed to decide that the only reason I'm opposition is because of all the bullshittery that I'm seeing out here. And those are going to be my talking points. It beats everything for me. Like when the sitting regime is pissed off that they have a pissed off opposition. I just thought that's how it works. We all can't be DP Mao. Like, how long has DP been here? Oh, Lord. DP has been here for the longest time, but you know what DP is? DP is that carrot that bites you and keeps blowing. Like, that's what DP has been doing to the sitting regime. Now, they are angry that there is a bunch of angry folks who don't want to, pretend like everything is okay. They want to say what they want to say. Y'all finally call them hoodlums. You call them people with anger management issues. They're just insulting, but they are opposition. We don't expect them to be nice. Okay, their methods are kind of wanting. To be honest, even I had a problem with opposition, like whenever they would come out and instead of defending an ideology or defending a thought or opinion, they would just downright go to that. They do that. But then again, in their defense, look at the demographic that is. Seriously speaking, no. Look at the demographic. Look at it. When we say opposition now in my country, it is mostly Noop, right? The biggest number of Noop supporters are the highest number in society, which is the youth. And the youth, last time I checked, are the ones who are really being very unrepresented. They're the ones without jobs. They're the ones who have to live on $1 a day. They're the ones without a minimum wage. They're the ones with bad roads, bad infrastructure, bad hospitals, bad everything. That's the demographic. That is our biggest population. Now, those are the people that are angry. What do you expect them? Where do you expect all this frustration to go? That's what I want to know. All this frustration, should they go stand up on mountaintops and scream it out, then come and deal with your yeah, government, yeah, very bad, very bad. No. You've had all these sitting opposition members all these years, and none of them has ever stood up in election against the sitting regime. Doesn't that tell you something? So I guess since it's Noop's turn now, well, they might as well do their damn thing. And if they also fail to get this sitting regime out, then kawa, another group will grow. That seems to be our politics in this country. But for people for old politicians like the Maos and all these different entities to come out and complain that Noop people are just angry, they are. They are. When you're not getting anything right, they are. When you feel like you are the last person the country thinks about, or you'd be angry too. When it is your brothers and sisters that are being picked off the streets and being asked stupid questions like, what is Bobby Wine doing? You're like, I don't even know the nigga. I just love the ideology. I don't care much for the nigga. So, my country. It's a whole big contradiction on every front. I know you're going to make it look like I'm only siding with the opposition. Hell yeah, I am. I am part of that demographic. I am part of that. I am a youth living below the poverty line, maybe not like everyone else, but in my terms, yes. I want better for my country. I want better for my kids, because all I've seen is what this regime has given. And I'm like, well, it hasn't done shit for me. Can we please switch it up so it does some shit for my kids? Stuff like that. That's why we're angry. That's why we're frustrated. That's why we tend to take the cup off real quick. Like, it comes with Noop supporters, it comes from 1 to 3,000. Easy. Very easy. And I'm not even a Noop supporter. I support an ideology. I can't say I am Noop. No, I am an ideology. I want better. I want a lot better. To be honest, if you right now, even if you brought me Mugisha Muntu and you're like, this is the guy, I'll be like, that's my guy. That's the one I'm going with. I just want different. I want better. So y'all stop contradicting yourself. The sitting regime, shut up, do your thing. Fabi Manira. The Noop guys, yeah, it's okay to be frustrated, angry, mad. Do your thing. But let's stop pointing these whole fingers, especially between opposition. Stop pointing fingers at each other because you all have failed. You are a classic example of failure. DP, classic example of failure. UPC, same situation. We see you and we see failure. So calm down. And I know people brought out receipts of Mao being paid by the state and all of that. It's Uganda. Everybody has a price, I've been told. So that ain't news. If he has a price and he got that price, let the nigga, mulego musajali chiwogo che. Cassava, if the cassava chokes him, it chokes him. But, you know, I don't want us to be seated on fences with this shit. Opposition is there. It's meant to oppose everything that you bring, even if it's good or if it's right. Though I have a problem against it with opposition. I was watching Joel Sanyonyi yesterday on TV and I was mad. I was mad for one reason because I know he's a brilliant guy. He's a good, exceptional journalist when he wants to be, when he was. I think he's brilliant. But yesterday when I watched it, I was like, what is this? You are answering questions based off of your emotions. I want facts. You have to swing me your way by giving me utter facts. Don't put emotion to the fact. I know it will be sprinkled in there, but yeah, yesterday wasn't a good look. You just sounded like, ooh, the stereotype they're giving all of us, opposition people. Be angry. You was angry, Joel. Where was I? To you. So, again, in Parliament, I told you whenever I turn on Parliament sessions, I always just hear silence. Even when they are talking, silence. Uselessness only. Yeah. Anyway, so there was a petition passed in Parliament, especially to do with the most recent torture situation in our country. I call it a situation because my country just decided to make it lightweight like that. Like, there's torture. Oh my God. 3 days later, we're like, shut up. They have not come for you. What is your problem? So yeah. Anyway, they were in Parliament. They passed the petition and, you know, had to have a couple of signatures. But as of the 23rd, that is, I think, 2 days ago, the paper that I saw only had 81 signatures condemning torture in the country. 81 signatures, and on those 81 signatures, there was not a single NRM signature. Well, I think the other pages after that could have got. I could be wrong. I will only speak for the ones I saw. The 81, there was no NRM member of Parliament signing on that issue and saying, yeah, we condemn torture. I was like, be careful. Like, even if you come on, it's too loud now. It's too loud. Like, wow. Only 81 people in the house on that day felt like it is inhumane to get a fellow human being and beat them into an inch of their life and pull out their toes, their nails, pull on their skin. Only 81 people in that room felt like, yeah, we think that's wrong. The others were like, I don't know. Y'all know. I keep telling people this. Mark their faces. Bagenda kudda mukisanja kirala nga bagala kubeera ba MP. Naye obusirubwa ffe muyinza obbawa. Why Ugandans, you always... but, you know, someone said that, I always say that, and they're like, how do you expect us to vote against a situation where they have already voted the person? I'm like, oh, you get the movie. Some of these MPs, we don't even know how they ended up there because... well... Sagala droni kunchima. But not their faces. Not their faces. Bagenda kunda. They'll come asking for your votes, but these are the same people who are seated on high and they're like, we don't think there's a problem with being tortured. And what the thing about torture in my country is that, just like so many other things in this country, it's an open secret. You ever known an open secret? Like everybody knows about it, but we just don't talk about it, but everybody knows about it. That's it. Like in my country, it is so normal for like, we're drawing your Jimani. That line, by the way, the fact that we normalize that line, it says a lot about the nation we're living in. It says a truckload. Like every time someone tries to ask for accountability, even if it's just on social media, the first comment that drops is like, we're drawing your Jimani. We normalized it. So anyway, 81. On day 2, only 81 of your members of parliament signed a petition that was condemning torture. Oh, still speaking of that, here's the funny bit. Last week I remember telling you that all these funny UNHCR, World Health Organization, you know, all those funny acronyms that are international. So our Human Rights Commission in Uganda, when all this drama went down, we were like, where are they? They have already said some bullshit before that we didn't all believe. I think it was it that time when I think it was the November shootings, right? Hey, yeah, where they came out and they were siding with the state. We're like, oh wow, if objective was a people. Next thing we know, this time with all the torture things that are coming on, yesterday I watched a clip of the head of the Human Rights Commission here saying that she is being threatened by non-state parties. They're threatening you over something you said is not existent, something you didn't condemn, and they're threatening you. Man, there's a script where you go zichusa. Chingamba. Nedda script ngamba zino films mutandisa otuwandiikira ziri predictable mbadde nteesa script mutandika ozikyusa bwe tuba tuli bafuna zi distraction banaye mutuwe zi distraction ennungi wakati zino we hack these cases in 5 seconds. Like, you are claiming non-state parties are threatening you. Why are they threatening you? Come out and say why they are threatening you. Okay, they are threatening you because what? You condoned it or you condemned it. What's the threat about? I don't get it. But hey, Ugandans have been crying over this same issue since election. Actually, at the height and the peak of elections, we kept crying out on different social media platforms, and we're like, there's tortures going on. They pick these kids up. You don't see them after 4 months. They bring them back mutilated and all these things. And still the commission shut up. Now, that same commission is saying they are being threatened. By whom? By whom? Speak it. Say it out. Chisule mulwatu. Tudiringe nacho. Ngatandika bino bi conversation byali byatandika mu NRM ba mafia, the mafias. Up to now we are still waiting for the mafias. Madam, vayo tubulira ani akukalakata mu nsonga za peace of mind. Tudiringe nacho so that we can show you what exactly we mean by change the script. It's played out. I wanted to talk about that. No, I want to talk about Kony. So wait, it's the Americans who told us there's money up $5 million. And the memes in my country. But wait, where is Kony? Where is Kony? Because $5 million USD, seriously, we can have a conversation. Have you all seen how Ongen is living the good life? Ninja gained weight. They're looking after him. They make sure he don't die. Kony, guy, Justin said, between me and you, come, let us introduce you to the right authorities. And do you know the funny thing about my country? Is if you got Kony yourself, the state will take Kony from you and represent. Anyway, there's $5 million for Kony. This is Kanokalango. In case you know where he at, holla at the Americans. They're gonna give you some money. But how brave do you have to be to go and look for that ninja. Like, wait, you think the Americans couldn't get? They caught Osama bin Laden. Man, they managed the Hussein situation. Really, America, one guy. You guys failed to get Joseph Kony. Like me, I still don't believe it that America, with all its resources, they failed to help us get Kony. Okay, but they are giving you $5 million. Obutabalika bwa sente. If you can hand him in. Good luck, yo. Happy hunting. Someone wanted me to talk about the Russia and Ukraine situation, and this is what I'm going to say. I have nothing to say. I am in Africa. My problems are different. My problems are based on nalide oba salide. Ninawe nasula oba sinebakawo. Because it's going to sound like I'm a fool by saying, oh, you know, everything that happens up there, it affects us. It's going to affect the economies. It's going to affect the oil. It's going to change the workforce situation because then the money won't be trickling in. And then it's going, you know, all those terms that all these smart people come up with. I'm just going to do the same thing that Africa has been doing for a long time. Pretending it is none of my business and keeping on with life because life is already hard for me to complicate it with understanding why Vladimir Putin wants to just be a big-ass bully. And then I feel sorry. Isn't that guy like, isn't he a comedian? The president of Ukraine. And it's his first time. Man, Putin is a big-ass bully. But I ain't gonna get into that. If you wanna understand it, go online and understand what they are fighting about. Of course, me, I know. But I am not going to explain it to you. Kati mukozese Google samwe. Mubikoze, bune, data siwa kulaba TikTok sizo kanange. Once in a while, you wear some messiah can't work up here. Thank you. Kati, go find out, you know. Someone made a meme. They're like, other girlfriends are talking about the situation in Russia and Ukraine. Your girlfriend is only coming back to ask, make up, are you? Anyway. There's a story that I want to close off with. Today I'm not going to talk about so many things because I feel like the stories were... Yeah, don't laugh. Did you just come here? I don't want to talk about so many things. Wait, you all saw that story about, okay, Uganda Airlines is by far the shittiest corporation ever in Uganda. Like, whoo! We have shortcomings as a nation, but Uganda Airlines is something else. So, the most recent situation with them, one, they sacked a couple of people, which is not news. They've been sacking people from it for a long time. But the one that caught my fancy was when they came out and they said that the suspended CEO and a couple of other people were still being paid while they're on suspension alongside the newly appointed people running the places that they were suspended for. I'm like, say, what? Like take it like this. I suspend you, but it is paid suspension. So the suspended CEO was earning about 50 million in their suspension, while alongside the new CEO who is running it is earning also like a 30 million. I'm like, wow, we do make money. I don't know why we keep saying we don't have money as a nation. We do make money because this is a trap, fam. It's woof. Of course, the trade they recently just... Yeah. I'm not going to go into details. I don't want to get frustrated. It's Thursday. That said, have I forgotten anything? Someone wanted me to talk about Zari's upcoming Netflix situation. I am just going to say, Zari, unlike some of us who are lucky and we can play around with accents, I need you to pick an accent. Pick one. Just pick one. You can pick the I have a ginger, a Uganda. Our accent is good. It is okay. It is bearable. Or you pick the Mzanzi one, the South Africa one. Right? But this whole thing you do of the sentence starts Ngoliwa ginger. Then it goes down into Mzanzi. And by the time we're done with the sentence, it is I don't know what version of American English that is. I can't. I don't. Together. And then also Diamond Platnumz, guy, you're from Tanzania. English is not your biggest tool. Why are you trying to say? You saw that clip of him where he was trying to like talk with an accent. I saw all that shit on that. Someone also told me that maybe I should look at another angle and not just come for Zari. I'm not coming for her. I am just disappointed. And you can also equally be disappointed in whomever you believe. I feel like the way a Ugandan woman has been represented on the international scene by the ones that have the eyeballs, it bugs. It bugs me. It really does. But who am I to say anything? Chick is getting her bag. And of course, her minions are going to be like, you are a hater. I'm like, okay. And y'all are wondering why she had to bring out a new bae. She has to get the numbers. Come on, this whole reality TV show is not going to reality itself out. She had to get like a controversial young boy with big... Mwana ayagala emimwa ejja kilo oba abasajja abalina emimwa eminene bamukolera ki? Mama love on your suckerfish tetukulinaako buzibu. Yeah, she needed the numbers, and are we looking forward to watching it? Or will it go like, remember her first one? Ow. Remember her musical career? Damn. Anyway, that's it. I'm not saying much. Y'all go watch it probably when it comes out. Anyway, that's been my few minutes up in here. In case you have a conversation that you would really love for me to have a conversation about in repetitive measure, hit me up in the comment section. For all of you who want to actually advertise with us, it is quite simple. All you have to do is look out. All the numbers are down here, right? Anyway, that's been my time. This episode has been proudly brought to you by Siva Technologies. You'll look them up in the link in description below. And of course, our new sponsors are on board too. We have none other than CYR Bridal, Shine Bridals. They are going to be with us for quite some time. We're excited for them. And Moyo Connect is back too. For all of you who want to find out what these beautiful people do and all the amazing things they do, just head into the link in description below. And, reach out to them. They all do some pretty amazing stuff. For now, though, I'll catch you on the flip side. I'm out. Peace.